name's Miranda, and today we're going to be reading a book called Smarter Than a Monster, A Survival Guide by Mull. Our imaginations have created monsters since the beginning of time. The only reason to fear monsters is if we give them power. The more you learn about monsters, the more you will know how to defeat them and keep them away. Just ask a librarian. No monster wants you to read this book. The first place most kids expect to find a monster is in the closet. The second place is under the bed. These are common mistakes. No self-respecting monster would hide in such obvious places. If you happen to find a monster in the closet or under your bed, it will be a very pathetic creature. If you order it to fetch you a snack, it will probably make you a peanut butter sandwich and pour you a glass of milk. I think that sounds like a pretty good monster. Certain fierce monsters have learned that frightened kids will sometimes sneak into bed with their parents. So these clever predators hide under their parents' bed where nobody thinks to check. Do you see those monsters hiding? Usually, monsters leave kids alone when they're in their own beds, making your bed a fairly safe place. Monsters like dirt and grime. If a monster could choose between two kids, it will usually choose the filthy one. Taking regular baths is a good way to keep most monsters away. Not only do they avoid clean children, monsters also hate the smell of soap. Foul breath is like perfume to a monster. Kids who remember to brush and floss their teeth every night usually survive to be teenagers. Monsters often strike when you're not paying attention. They use the television and video games as bait, because kids are sitting still for a long time, staring in one direction. The more time you spend in front of the television, the greater your chances of becoming a monster snack. One good way to keep monsters from launching a surprise attack against you is to keep your room clean. Monsters love to hide in a messy room. If there are toys and clothes all over the floor, you're in a perfect position to be ambushed by a monster. Remember, we gotta keep those rooms clean. Be careful whenever you see something that looks terribly out of place. For example, if you find a wonderful birthday cake sitting at the edge of a swamp, it is probably a monster trap. Same with a go-kart in a mortuary, or a carousel in a ghost town. Some kids are afraid of clowns. This is a natural instinct because a lot of monsters look like clowns. How can you tell a good clown from a bad clown? Environment. If you see a clown at a circus or at a party, you're probably safe. But if you meet a clown out in the woods, run for your life. Dressing up like a monster is a good form of camouflage. Monsters seldom bother other monsters. The safest day of the year from a monster attack is Halloween, which monsters think is a big parade in their honor. Sometimes imagining an endless variety of monsters can be stressful, but your imagination is powerful enough that you can also imagine ways to outsmart and defeat them. Be smart, stay strong, and you'll never need to worry about monsters again. The end. That was such a good book, don't you think? What did we learn in that book? How can we keep ourselves safe from monsters? Let's see. First, we can sleep in our own beds, right? Because monsters don't like to hide under kids' beds. They like to hide under adult beds. Second, we can take baths and we can brush our teeth. Because monsters don't like the smell of soap, remember? And if they smell how clean we are, they're not gonna wanna come near us. And third, we can play outside or play with our toys instead of watching too much TV so that the monsters can't catch us. Fourth, we can clean up our bedrooms so that the monsters can't hide under all of our toys and clothes all over the floor, right? What was the last thing we could do to protect ourselves from monsters? Do you remember? We can dress up like them, right? If we dress up like a monster, they won't even know that we're humans. They'll think we're just another monster. And then we'll be safe. Wow, we had so many good tips in that book. All right, are you guys ready for a rhyme? This one is called 5 Little Pumpkins. 5 little pumpkins sitting on a gate. The first one said, "Oh my, it's getting late." The second one said, "There are witches in the air." The third one said, "But we don't care." The fourth one said, "Let's run, let's run." The fifth one said, "Isn't Halloween fun?" Then, woo, went the wind, and out went the lights, and 5 little pumpkins rolled out of sight. Awesome. All right, it's time to say goodbye, friends. Let's sing our goodbye song. Ready? Let's get our hands up in the air. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Raise your hands up high. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Wave and say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll see you next time.